KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Matson and the Adai Tano program. Harley-Davidson of Guam. Visit our new showroom, now located on Route 8 in Mighty. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Coming up on your primetime news, another video from the illegal fireworks display in agate surfaces and featuring another off-duty police officer. Plus, the Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration announces new leadership for public safety, law enforcement, and emergency preparedness. And parents file in at the Guam Education Board meeting, wanting a safer school environment. Hafa friends, and good evening. Thanks so much for tuning in and streaming us, because various group chats are being treated to what's essentially an encore show, as local police are now looking into an additional video that surfaced from an illegal fireworks show down in Agate that took place, apparently on Christmas Eve.
Jason, the video depicts a second off-duty cop enjoying the celebrations. Crystal Paco reports.
Enjoying, not enforcing. This footage captures Eugene Charfaras. Though he's off duty, he's partaking in the Christmas Eve celebrations down in Agate involving illegal fireworks. KUAM files show he was awarded the 2014 Police Officer of the Year. But he's not the only off-duty officer under fire. This video circulated earlier this week. Here is Officer Alan Perez and former police colonel Mark Charfaras. Charfaras was fired for a similar incident on Christmas Eve back in 2016, also involving suspected illegal fireworks. According to police spokesperson Sergeant Paul Tapao, these videos have been forwarded to investigators who are conducting both criminal and administrative investigations in this case. He notes that both officers are still on duty, despite the pending investigation.
That is actually being addressed. You know, we do hold our officers to higher standards, both on and off duty. We ask that, you know, each officer that serves and protects, that they are held to a higher standard, that, you know, they do their due diligence in reporting crime and providing information or assisting those should they witness or, you know, have any knowledge of any criminal activities that's occurring.
Police are also looking into the fireworks show itself.
The display was not sanctioned by either GFD or the respective mayor of Agate.
No word yet on where the fireworks came from. Guam's only licensed vendor, Show Pro Pyrotechnics, confirming they weren't behind the sparkling spectacle on Monday night. A look at the police blotter, however, does show a burglary at their site, reported in late August. Are the two connected? Sergeant Tapao says it's too soon to say.
There was an incident that was reported.
Possession of fireworks is against the law. The Guam Fire Department recently revived Operation Dragon Slayer, which cracks down on the illegal sale of fireworks, which are confiscated then properly destroyed.
You do need to be a trained pyrotechnician to handle this type of grade because of the safety and the severity that can happen in the event a mishap should happen. And, you know, again, you know, the word explosive, it's pretty much broad, but in general it talks about the dangers and you're dealing with anything that's combustible that may endanger lives.
If you have any information on this case, you are urged to call Guam Crime Stoppers at 477-HELP. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Crystal Paco.
A 42-year-old woman is behind bars charged with sexting a 14-year-old. Court documents state family found Alicia Medeiros with the teen early Wednesday morning. Medeiros had previously been told to stop contacting the victim. The text apparently started back in July. Medeiros allegedly sent nude photos of herself via Instagram. She was arrested and charged with indecent electronic display to a child as a third-degree felony.
Well, new agency heads have been announced for the incoming Leon Guerrero administration.
KUAM's Nick Delgado has the details.
31 years on the force, Captain Steve Ignacio has been tapped to be the new Chief of Police of the Guam Police Department once Lou and Josh take office. Ignacio, the current Hagåtña Precinct Commander, telling KUAM he expressed interest in being the next top brass.
When I was asked to become the chief, you know, the appointee for the next police, you know, I accepted the offer, you know, in the position, and I look forward to working with the command staff and especially the incoming administration. And we look forward to working with, you know, all my fellow members in the cabinet. to do what we need to do.
Current Chief of Police Jaya Cruz has started his leave before his resignation from the force takes effect. Major Manny Chong is serving as acting until Ignacio officially takes over, though he could not speak to any current police investigations, including cases that involve his fellow officers. Ignacio says he is proud to protect and serve his island.
I'm doing my best, to serve them in the capacity that that'll improve services to the community.
The incoming administration also announcing Ike Pareto as director of Guam Customs and Quarantine. Pareto is a U.S. Army veteran and currently teaches geography and American history at Bishop. Leading the Department of Corrections will be Director Samantha Brennan. She recently retired at the rank of major from the probation division at the Judiciary of Guam after almost 32 years of government service. Her deputy director will be Joey Terlahi, who is currently a captain with the Marshals Division in the Judiciary of Guam. Additionally, P. Tim Ugin has been selected to serve as Homeland Security Advisor. He is currently the Consumer and Professional Products Division Sales Manager for Ambrose Inc. Governor-elect Leon Guerrero states, quote, "I am confident in each of their abilities and I value the extensive experience they bring to the law enforcement and Homeland Security agencies they will represent. Collectively, these individuals will be responsible for providing a strong and collaborative framework that provides for the safety and security of our entire community. I look forward to their contributions and service to our people." The incoming administration says they've also assessed the necessity to appoint deputy directors to certain agencies to achieve its mission and objectives in the executive branch. Reporting for Guam's News Network, Guahusinik Delgado.
Guam bonds, following suit with other investment instruments at the state and local level across the U.S., have been downgraded due to a change in criteria. Ratings authority Standard & Poor's had previously indicated they would change criteria for tax revenue debt, affecting more than 800 different bond credits in the market. Gita's J. Rojas shared his disappointment with the change, saying his agency questions its reliability. Fortunately, the new rating does not affect Guam's outstanding hotel occupancy tax, Section 30 or business privilege tax bonds, as interest rates for those bonds were locked in at sale time. Gita says it asks for the community's patience as they strive for financial stability for Guam.
Well, it is the law, and Senator Fernando Estevez says she's not following it. In a letter to Attorney General Elizabeth Barrett Anderson, the Republican policymaker says that he has been waiting a half year for her to issue a legal opinion on a landmark case relative to tax on online purchases. He says local policy mandates opinions not rendered within a week are the personal liability of the AG and subject to a fine of $150. The senator says he accepts fully responsibility for not pressing the issue sooner, but still expects results pursuant to the law.
It seems the funding problems at the Guam Memorial Hospital will spill over into the next administration. The final GMH board meeting under the Calvo administration is underway this evening. The hospital administrator, Peter John Camacho, is expected to give a breakdown of the agency's accomplishments for the year, as well as their shortfalls. Camacho says they continue to wait for a re-inspection from the Center of Medicare and Medicaid Service, which are unannounced.
Very aware of what goes on here at the hospital, and so the leaky roof that we've talked about for forever, and that we see the blankets on the floor. Yeah. I mean, all of those things, they're going to be looking for those things, to see what we as a hospital and as a government are doing to take care of those things.
As reported, CMS officials promised $12 million in the beginning months of the next administration to go toward the hospital. Camacho says the challenge that remains is to find a dedicated source of funding for the hospital.
And also tonight, a notice to anyone planning a trip to Manila. Homeland Security has issued a travel advisory with authorities determining that aviation security at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport does not maintain and carry out effective security consistent with standards set by the International Civil Aviation Organization. A team of TSA experts conducted their assessment with representatives working with the airport in Manila to help them beef up security standards. TSA continues to assess security measures and take appropriate actions as warranted.
Stay tuned. We're back with more news after the break.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
Cheers to 80 years. It's our 80th anniversary and the gifts are on us. 80 gift certificates, 8 shopping sprees, 8 staycations, and 1 round trip flyaway for 2 to Manila. So how do you enter? Calvo's Insurance personal home and auto customers are automatically entered. Non-Calvo's customers may enter by receiving a qualified quote. It's our way of saying thank you for trusting us for the past 80 years. For more details, visit calvos.com/giveaway or call 472-6816. Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years.
Explore your world wherever you are. Explore your world, home's never too far. Explore your world, no matter how far, wherever you are.
MTO, professional janitorial services with a warm hospitality touch. MTO gives that gift year-round. Pressure wash roofs, pressure wash driveways, lawn service, home cleaning, carpet restoration, office cleaning, commercial window cleaning, floor care. When cleaning is in order, MTO has you covered. Call 647-6861 to inquire on how you can receive the maintenance you deserve.
MTO, celebrating 30 years with you, Guam.
This year is rapidly coming to an end, and the big finish is now on at Cars Plus and Mighty. Get big year-end deals on a big selection of new Ram trucks with savings up to $10,500. Or save up to $5,500 on a new Chrysler Pacifica. How about a new Jeep Compass? Save up to $5,000. With financing as low as 1.99%. Plus, receive a Cars Plus Shell Value Card with every vehicle purchase. The big finish means big savings right now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Growing concern over a student making a threat to shoot up a local middle school has forced education officials to act.
Carmen Terlahi has more from the Guam Education Board work session where school safety is being discussed.
We are here at GDOET's headquarters where a meeting is just about to begin. Again, this is the work session that was scheduled to discuss school safety. And to my right is Superintendent John Fernandez, who you've been under a little bit of pressure in these past weeks regarding the issue and the incident that happened at OMS. What do you expect to happen at this particular meeting?
Well, this meeting is not solely about OMS. It's really about school safety in general. I mean, over the past couple of years, you've seen school fights, you've seen issues of substance abuse, we've seen issues nationally about active shooter. The threat environment is constantly changing for schools, and so out of several of these issues, not just Ocean View, but also the earlier school fights this year, we've been looking at our disciplinary policies. We've been looking at ways to ensure that we are constantly staying up to date with this evolving threat environment. And what we want to do is ensure that the board wants to make sure that our policies are aligned. So it just so happens that we've got the new federal commissioner report. What we want to do is apprise the board where we stand with regard to things that we have in place, things that are gaps in our system, and lay out a plan for addressing it over the coming weeks and coming months. So we've taken a look at, and we want to present the framework that we're operating under now, and then we've broken apart the report to look at the recommendations and how we might go forward in addressing them. This will be the first of several sessions for sure.
Sure. So we can expect more to come from this meeting. Again, we saw lots of parents from OMS and, as you said, different schools who are concerned for school safety. Back to you in studio.
Have you been feeling under the weather lately? Then you're not alone. Public Health reports they're seeing widespread flu activity on island. In the first 3 weeks of this month, there have been at least 169 flu cases reported. Public Health recommends to get vaccinated if you haven't already. If you're sick, stay home to prevent anyone else from getting the flu and take your medication.
The Air Force is conducting open water training Friday to train the readiness of military personnel. It's recommended for the general public. The fishermen and marine tour operators monitor the Coast Guard broadcast notice to mariners for advisories. The training will be in the W12 area south of Guam and extending south-southwest in international waters.
Taking a look back at 2018, economists at the UOG Regional Center for Public Policy outlined the details of Guam's economic progress.
But though our community's economy stayed relatively stable by their estimates, we may see a decline in the numbers for 2019. Once again, here's Carmen with the latest on the first ever Guam economic report.
$5.2 billion. That's the number attached to Guam's economy in real GDP. Growing at 1.08% from 2002 to 2017, this year's economic forecast is 0 to slightly negative 0.5% growth. But that's not a bad number.
I always feel like we could actually go down every year. So when we survive, when the reports come in and we actually did the same or slightly better than the previous year, that for me calls for a party.
No change or a slight decrease is reason to celebrate, according to Dr. Maria Ruane, who led the publication of the first 2018 Guam Economic Report, funded by UOG's Endowment Foundation. The 30-page report outlines a series of factors that contributes to Guam's economy. As reported, it was early this year that Trump signed the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017. The outgoing administration called it a GovGuam fiscal crisis, as fire stations and police stations were shut down. Dr. Ruane says consumers might have looked out with more money to spend.
So when we were worrying about a fiscal crisis, and, some people should be celebrating. Your paychecks are higher.
But business spending is down. Tourist spending also decreased as the market shifts from Japanese to Korean visitors.
The issue is that their spending is less than, the per capita spending is less than Japanese spending. So to be honest, 2018 overall tourist spending is actually quite low.
Projecting a potential 2019 recession in Korea, meaning a decline in tourist visits, she predicts the economic forecast may be more gloomy next year. Dr. Ruane says, quote, there's a good chance that Guam's economic growth would experience a 1% decline in 2019, unless the combined consumer and business spending increases. Her suggestion is for residents to shift the focus to buying local.
If you look at our agricultural imports, just if we could replace those, would be great. Our $5.2 billion economy, $3 billion is imports. And so even just, again, a little bit of the math, all right? So for every dollar that gets spent locally, it will generate additional spending, additional income.
Just days away from a new administration in Adelup, she projects new government policies may also affect the economy, such as the, quote, notable change in the 2019 fiscal year budget to remove funding for unclassified deputy directors and similar positions.
Do we need them in that position? And one of the tables that we have showed it's $1.2 million savings every year. Efficiency, stretch the resources as much as we can.
Though the exact numbers for 2018's economic projections won't be finalized until next June, Dr. Ruane is eager to publish 2 more reports on Guam's corruption perception survey by the end of January 2019. Reporting for Guam Seas Network, I'm Carmen Victoria Turlaki.
With just a few more days left in 2018, more crews are heading back north to restore power service to typhoon-ravaged Saipan. A contingent of 32 personnel from the Guam Power Authority, including linemen, electricians, engineers, and heavy equipment operators, are assisting the restoration effort following Super Typhoon U2, which hit 2 months prior. GPA also dispatched bucket trucks and other vehicles to help support the Commonwealth Utilities Corporation bring power service back to subscribers. This wave of responders, the second such group, plans to be in Saipan for about 60 days.
All right, please stay tuned, everybody. Sports is coming up next with our guy, Andy Wheeler, and he has volleyball, he has football, and he has wrestling. Big show coming right up.
Be merry, be bright, and make shopping all right with holiday gift cards from Chuck E. Cheese's Guam, Ruby Tuesday, and King's Restaurants. Receive special offers with every purchase for extra holiday happiness. See stores for details and have fun this season from all of us at the GFS Group.
Let's welcome the first-time parents, the people with the dream to be their own boss. Let's welcome the things that inspire us, connect us. Let's welcome the college graduations, new beginnings, and happy ever afters. At Bank of Hawaii, we'd like to welcome you to all the new adventures, the next chapters, and all the great things you have to look forward to. Welcome to tomorrow. Bank of Hawaii.
It's the 2019 Kick the Fat 5K 10K Run and Walk. Register now at Payless Locations and PaylessFoundation.com and join us on Saturday, January 26th at Paseo Stadium. Showtime 5 a.m. and go time 6 a.m. Run Guam shirts and singlets for the first 5K and 10K finishers. Stick around after the race for a community fair and raffle where you could win $1,000 in cash. It's the 2019 Kick the Fat 5K 10K Run and Walk. Special thanks to our sponsors.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J. All right, welcome to Sports Tonight. We're going to be talking volleyball. Coach. Let's talk about the program, the Guam National Volleyball program in general. You want to let us know where we stand right now?
We're getting prepared for the Pacific Games. That's our big tournament this year. But it's also an extension of what we started last year with the Micronesian Games team, with our coaching staff, coaching programs, athletic programs.
Building a good core right there, huh?
Yes, developing athletes.
Good. Developing athletes, I think that's key at a young age, and you guys have been involved in volleyball on different levels. Let's talk about the talent out there. You know, basketball has the issue you can't teach height, you can't coach size. How do you guys kind of get around some of those things?
Coach Mike?
If we can get all of them to come out. One thing with Guam is that we got a lot of multi-athletes, and then a lot of the seasons collide together. So I think that's one of the biggest issues. A big issue is having our own home, our own facility where all our athletes can just kind of walk in and then be able to build from there. So, you know, a lot of the kids, they do come out just during season, but right after the season's over, okay, where are they going to go?
Right, yeah. So you want to keep that year-round. And what do you think the success of, like, the basketball program, what the men did out there, what do you think that does for the volleyball program as far as people thinking, hey, I can get out and compete on an international level for Guam?
Well, the last big competition we played in was the East Asian Games, right?
Yep.
In 2009. And that was probably the highest level that we've ever played at. Of course, you know, we placed nearly the bottom of our pool.
We don't need to bring that up. We
but you know, we know as coaches we understand how much farther we have to work up to.
And I think the players realize that as well, that you can't just walk onto a international tournament like, all right, we're going to sweep everybody. Right. It is a work in progress, so having the year-round facility I think will help. So talk about Pacific Games coming up. Coach, what are we looking at as far as goals there? How are we feeling about the squad?
The men's and women's, we got Joe doing the men's and Mike doing the women's. I know a good core of the women's are returning, and they did really well in the micro games, so we're looking for them to do well in these Pacific Games.
Well, we're going to be watching for sure. If anybody does want to get involved in any of the programs, how can they get a hold of you guys?
Do we want to give out your phone number?
Social media? Is there an email?
We've already started workouts. There's a pretty in-depth conditioning program happening right now at Custom Fitness. So if you're interested in getting on board with the national team, either the men or the women, you need to start out with that right away. Get your body and your physical fitness level ready to play volleyball. Yeah. So hook up with us. We're out there in the tournaments and the communities. Won't give any phone numbers right now.
Yeah, they know your faces now, so they can stop you on the street. All right, thank you very much, guys. Good luck in all the tournaments coming up. Right now, let's go ahead and take a look at our Gatorade Game Changer.
14-year-old Ellie Pakaigui already has a cache of hardware from California, Guam, and the Philippines for his skills in jiu-jitsu, but now he's proving himself a mighty contender in another sport.
I've been doing jiu-jitsu for quite a while, and wrestling is similar but different, and I just wanted to give it a go and try out, see if I'll make it.
And did he? His first season on the mat, wrestling for the Notre Dame Royals, and at the All-Island Wrestling Championships, he took home gold in his 106-pound weight division.
I see myself improving in the sport and wanting to learn more and more about it so it could improve my game in jiu-jitsu because it helps both.
Not only, though, is Ellie a champion on the mat, he's a champion in the classroom.
Averaging an A in all my classes, that's pretty much why I chose to go to ND. It's really important. Education is always first over anything, and I just wanted to have a good education before I could have a good sports.
All his accomplishments he attributes to his supporting parents.
Those guys, they are the ones that really push me to do my best at all times. Because even if they see that I'm struggling, they'll do anything they can to help me, even when it's either to help me with my homework or to help me look up some moves that I could eventually try and practice doing in a real match.
Congratulations, Ellie, this week's Gatorade Game Changer.
All right, the final week of regular season football is coming up. Here's a look at the games on KUAM. Monday, New Year's Eve morning at 4 a.m.